that encounter is over, you guys, you do see like all of these eels that are swimming around this blood, like drinking this blood, and you can feel them brushing past your leg, and some of them are like 9, 10 feet long, and
Can we catch them?
you can certainly try.
You got a trident in that purse? Or pitchfork or something?
Sharpen the candelabra.
Got a spoon.
Are you going to just smack him out?
You got a better idea?
I don't know. You might be able to smack the surface of the water to attract them.
I think they're already attracted.
There's a lot of them. We don't need to attract more.
I figure if there's so many, like, it'd be hard to miss, right?
I mean, attract them closer so you can, like, maybe grab it or something.
Just walk over there. Just reach in and grab it. You can do it, Peggy.
I believe in you.
I'm going to go over to this plane.
I believe you can grab it.
Peggy tries to snatch an eel, I guess? I don't know what skill that'd be.
Can you use thievery because you need to have dexterity?
No, you can try to use agility and then some strength to hold on to it.
Oh, strength she does not have.
And you notice
she does.
These things have huge teeth. Huge teeth. Like if one of these gets a hold of you and pulls you under, it's all over with. But that's okay. Let me get an NPC out here.
It's okay. It's solid. Ish.
Yeah, and I removed the nerve of steel edge temporary because I played Get Savage, I think it was.
Why do you want an eel, Peggy?
Or have we not eaten for a while?
She's planning on making some stew
Well,
or some sushi. I'm not sure.
Let's get over to that Army cargo plane and see if there's any food in there.
That's
Yeah,
And then if we need to,
Fair enough. I mean, she's not looking forward to eating an eel.
I mean, whoever explained the Sargasso thing, was it who got the science and academic role? Who explained that to you guys, what you were in here, the Sargasso Sea? They would have also explained that it's, it's the legendary breeding ground of all eels, the mythical breeding ground of all eels.
Somebody did. I don't remember who it was.
What's that?
No, I remember somebody got the success on the roll. I just don't remember who it was.
Yeah.
It's actually not mythical. It's not where all eels come from, but all European eels. They leave and migrate to the Sargasso Sea to lay, and then they wash up on shore as these tiny little worms, and then make their way up through the rivers of England and stuff again.
Really?
So yeah, your European variety of eels that all go out there is it's considered one of the greatest migrations
Into the
in the
east,
world.
It would have the southward current, and then you got the other one to the north. Make it easier, right?
Yeah, so none of the Asian eels or anything like that, the ones the Japanese eat, go there, but all of the European ones. So that's where the myth started, was in Europe. And at the time, it was true.
Peggy, you go to grab for this eel, right?
Yeah.
And let's see. Oh, it misses you. It tries to bite you, but misses you. I told you these things were fucking, they're huge. The ones
that's bigger than an elephant size.
Oh, gargantuan.
We're not gonna have to worry about cooking for a while, right?
Well, it's
She
the.
may be able to pick that up anyway.
It says giant eel. It's the only eel that was in here. I thought, okay, giant eel. That's a big eel. That's a 12-foot long eel. You bet. Gargantuan. No, it's not gargantuan. It's giant. It says right there, giant eel. I don't care what that gargantuan versus normal. But
that's just the size.
Yeah, I know, and it needs to change because that gave him like penalties.
Yeah, because he that's really big size.
Yeah, it's. Wonder what that tastes like.
There we go. Yeah, so now let's see if it hits. It does. And there's no way that he can do that much damage. There's no way.
You keep saying these things before you roll for
But
me.
you know what? I'm gonna lessen this by half because it's got something else that comes with it. A sweet little surprise.
Yay.
It
I'm
misses
low on
you.
pharmaceuticals.
It doesn't seem to do any damage with its teeth.
Gonna shock the shit out of me.
Well, the second one was the. Oh, I see.
And it misses. It still says gargantuan. Why?
Can't you change that on the actual character in the combat tracker? I know you can do different things like that in others.
Okay, you've got this big 12-foot eel, and you can't hardly pick the motherfucker up. You can pick part of it, and it keeps sliding out of your hands, and you're trying to drag it across the kelp, and
I
you can
will
barely
assist.
walk anyway.
Can I assist her?
You just need to
Sure,
machine it
and the
above.
Sargasso Sea around you begins to rumble more and more and more as you wrestle with this fucking eel.
I think we should probably let go of the eel.
Hey, Huff, but you think
And
you're doing
more
well, you're
and
going over
more
dizzy pain.
and
I thought she
more.
wasn't able to grab it anyway.
And you see sharkmen starting to pop up, like 4 or 5 of them. Boom! Show up, and the dolphin men are nowhere around anymore because you don't have a. Here comes a cavalry fucking card. So
Well, that's because you also haven't reset adventure.
I
cards
haven't.
yet.
I was going to ask you guys that. You guys got a bunch of bennies, but then you spend a bunch. Would you like to reset, or would you like to keep what you got? Which
I'm
means.
okay with resetting.
I'd like to reset because I get
Okay.
2 adventure cards and all 3 of mine are garbage.
Gotcha. All right. So resetting bennies, resetting adventure cards.
Garbage is strong. They're just not applicable to the current situation.
Yeah.
Like renowned and contact. I'm gonna find a friend out here on the Sargasso Sea with some useful information.
That
Well,
could be
maybe
handy,
the
actually.
dolphin men all owe us one with their renown.
Well,
Does
yeah,
anybody have
contact
any
isn't like a
arcane
new
card?
friend. It's like a friend I've already got. I know a
I
guy
do not.
who just happens to live out here.
Oh, I see.
I do. I have
You know, like
arcane
he was a
spike.
survivor of one of these wrecks or something, and he just kind of hangs out on his.
Bermuda Triangle researcher.
If you guys have an adventure card that is an arcane card, throw it in there. Donnie had arcane spike, so we will find Donnie.
It'd be easier if you just gave us some arcane powers, Marv.
Oh God, here comes a fucking cavalry. Okay, anybody else? No. Okay. Then we will move right along. Things have been reset. Are you guys trying to make your way quickly to this cargo plane
Yes.
Yes.
that's ass up? Okay.
Okay, so we're not messing with the eel.
No.
You can go
No,
try
what?
as much as
I
you want, but
pulled
I'm
back from that
already
once I
gone.
found out how big they actually were, but we kept moving forward.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Oh, okay. I didn't either. How'd you
I
say
didn't realize how big they were when I said, "Hey, let me grab one."
Perhaps you should have specified, one that you could actually grab, like a smaller one. Or
Look, I
a
don't know how
regular
she was gonna
size
pick up a
eel.
12-foot eel anyway. She's got 4 strength.
Well, that's why I said I would assist.
Oh, and also I double checked it for the scale chart. Gargantuan examples are building kaiju ship.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah,
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
That galleon.
Yeah, if it's a bill, Godzilla. Godzilla can be big.
Oh, Godzilla.
Godzilla.
A whale is only huge.
Which whale?
Well,
So
this
that's
is
a
one the
big
size of a
fucking
dragon.
eel. That's an eel the size of the Empire State Building, is what you're saying. No. When you say building. A super Walmart or an Empire State Building?
I don't
Maybe
think it really
it's
matters.
variable, but I mean, I think that's probably at least it's got to be like 60 feet at least.
All right, you guys make it to this plane.
Oh, wow.
And
The plane.
it's gonna, I mean, it's up there to try to get to the doors. Now there's some cargo doors underneath it that you might be able to get to, but they're down under the water. And
Nope.
yeah, you don't want to try to get to those. Well, then your only other option would be to somehow get maybe up onto the side of the plane, like one of the wings. The thing is sitting kind of like this, and one of the wings goes down and meets the water and then down into the water. So you could like walk around to that side, get on the wing and climb up there, but the door is over a little ways. So, how do you guys, and the door is open and it's hanging open. Like,
Can we attempt to climb?
are you
I
shitting
mean,
me, Ron?
Nope.
Wow.
Oh shit! Really?
Jeff Beck
Oh, wow.
also today.
Damn.
Yep, Jeff Beck was on my list of
Yeah.
people to see this summer.
Yeah, I seen that this morning.
Sudden, which it always is. They call it sudden viral meningitis. Well, viral meningitis doesn't come on slowly. Once it's in you, it's eating away your fucking brain lining. Well, say hello to your daddy for us, Lisa Marie. Rest in peace. She was such a pretty girl, but I just couldn't see it because
Big
she looked too
assumption
much
that
like her dad.
Elvis is there.
Elvis is not there. He lives in Kansas City, and he's 102 years old now. I don't know.
No, he just went home.
Okay, you guys have made it up here. What kind of skills would you like to use to try to get like into this? Can you picture it like the
Well-
fuselage of the plane is rounded, right, and the door is kind of on the underside, hanging open.
I have a question for Peggy.
Can I just
Don't-
try to climb?
Hold on, Peggy. Don't you have like some ropes and such?
I mean,
for
she's got a rope,
into
but no,
place?
like nothing really else. No.
What is he?
Let me see. Let me look through her inventory again.
I was thinking you picked up one of those cat burglary kits or whatever from.
I didn't see one in there, or she would have gotten one.
I don't think you
That was
were here that
one-
session.
There's a
No,
player
I would have
here.
started with one if that was the case.
Yeah, from the cat burglar's house.
Yeah,
I
think
wasn't
you-
here for that session,
yes,
or
but
I 100% would have
remember-
gotten that.
well, I
So-
remember that it's like, okay, Peggy would have wanted one of these,
Yes.
so I said, she's
Yes.
going to grab one.
You did.
Yeah.
I remember that. You said
Alright.
if Peggy was here, she would have taken these cat burglars'
Yeah.
tools.
Yeah, considering she's a budding cat burglar.
because she's trouble.
Now,
Yeah,
and
just
they
like,
the
it
cat
has
burglar
rope
was a
and
woman,
such.
so it's a thin little rope that's maybe it's a silk rope made in the Orient, very lightweight but strong, and so you can get like up onto the top of the plane and get over in front of this door and maybe lower somebody down. Somebody with some muscle and strength
That's like,
could
she can't lift
hold
anyone,
a
but
smaller
yeah.
person.
Tough. But we could at least get the rope in place, tie it off on either end, so we
Right.
can kind of like climb down the rope.
Oh yeah.
You guys could
B&Es
each,
especially have a sword.
yeah, you could each kind of climb down the rope, like the Batman from 1968, 69, 70, with Adam West in it. Remember how they would take the ropes and climb up the buildings,
Pow!
Yeah, pow, oof,
Turn the camera
biff,
sideways.
pow. Yeah, exactly. And then they
That's
would
what
have
I
a
was thinking.
conversation while they're doing it, and neither one of them breathing heavily. So yeah, you could Batman your way down into this plane. Let's get agility rolls from everybody to see just how you do it.
Can I do a climbing roll?
You can, if you'd rather give me a climbing roll, if you have a climb.
Athletics, but I have a bonus from free runner to climbing, so I'm doing that.
If you roll well, not as well as I was hoping, but I was going to say you probably just grab the rope and just jump off and use it to spin right into the door.
I unnecessarily hop around
Of course,
back and
Huff.
forth,
Of course, Huff. Like, I'm too heavy for this rope. I can't do this.
though.
I'm
Hey,
not. No.
Huff, before we go, maybe you can get that wound checked. You seem to have the bite mark.
Yes, I also have with the wound.
Oh yeah, Sid, you have the bite mark too. Guys, that
It's only been about 20 minutes, so you're still within the golden hour. Are you trying to
just
heal some
raised with the
people?
bite mark.
Can I do like a natural healing, or is that the golden hour for somebody else to do the
That's
healing?
like once.
It's
whatever.
for me to heal you guys. Who needs
It's like the ideal time to film.
Sid and Huff.
So Huff, He starts down the rope and he gets right to the
Yeah,
door
oh,
and
yeah, shit.
splashes into the kelp in the water, and he gets up while he's all
Okay, that
soaking wet
hurts. Izzy.
and has to go around and climb back up on the wing again. He doesn't take any damage because there's water down there. Donnie Boone, who was that healing roll for?
Yeah, and why'd you need to re-roll it?
Well, I forgot I
was a
got the
success.
+2, so I didn't think I was going to do anything. But yeah, I forgot I have a +2 to him. During the heal, I think. So
And it's funny you rolled the same thing.
Well, you healed a wound on
Oh,
somebody.
you need
I
two.
don't know who you.
Well,
Nobody.
I was already in the plane.
Well, we said that Sid and Huff should have him looked
So Huff wasn't there yet. But we'll
Oh,
say,
wait,
you know,
did,
you guys make it into this plane, and
I'm just noticing that Johnny didn't roll an agility or climbing roll to get in the plane.
who?
Donnie.
Oh, Don.
Thanks, lawful good paladin.
He like does he repels down Australian style. Not quite. He didn't get a raise. You guys all get into the fuselage of this thing. It's like a big C-130 or something. You know, great big 4 engines on the wing, and it's probably, you know, if it's still 1986, you know, the plane's 10 years old, maybe 15 years old, military. You can see that it was hauling some big armored vehicles that have slammed into the bulkhead as the plane came down and crushed almost everything up into the front, destroying cases of rifles, guns, all kinds of stuff. But you do find a couple things that are usable. Number one, you find food for the crew, military rations,
Yay, MREs
boxes
for the
of
win.
them. You climb into the armored vehicles
Only
are
the
already
vegetarian
stocked.
ones.
These armored vehicles are already stocked, like they were getting ready to drop them out of the back of this thing with parachutes or something. So you're able to find some MREs. You know, there's spaghetti and meatballs. There's beef stroganoff. There are burritos. There's enchiladas. All kinds of
I found
stuff
a
in there.
jambalaya.
I don't think there's any. Well, it could be jambalaya. You know, if you cross the burritos with the beef stroganoff, it kind of tastes like jambalaya. You got to add some red pepper, and guess
Robert's coming
what?
with his
You found
real
some
world
ground red
knowledge.
pepper in here, man. Nice Cajun ground red peppers. Oh yeah.
Still dry.
Yep, still dry. There's a few bodies that are mostly skeletal now. Very little tissue on them. So anybody could give me a medical roll, trying to determine how long the bodies have been here.
They did.
Most important, does it look like we can use any of the heavy tank sounding things to shoot a hole in the side of the plane and then shoot the tower with them? We don't need to drive. We just need to
No.
shoot.
No, absolutely not. No, you're not even Brad. Fuck. Let's just bypass the whole fucking island, and shoot a hole
Shoot
inside.
the island.
Well, I would say that these.
First of all, you
this
can't
plane has
see a
been here
tower
long
yet.
enough- Well, I would say that this plane has also been here long enough that anything that was usable, especially in the tanks and heavy weaponry and whatnot, probably doesn't work.
Wait, didn't it get lost 2 weeks ago?
There,
Yeah, the cargo plane was not that long ago.
I saw
well,
a news report.
yeah, that's right. Not that long ago in 1986 in your time.
But it looks like it's been here for a while.
Remember, Rondon, this gets all fucking weird, man.
Yeah, if you had the tanks from back home, it'd still be working.
You know what?
I'm just operating on the only timeline I know of.
Yeah, this can't be, this is not that cargo plane. This is a different cargo plane. I'll just put it that way. That cargo plane, this one's been here a long time. This is a different one. I don't know.
Stop it, please.
You do find a couple of weapons that work. I want everybody's got a 50-50 chance of finding a weapon in this. Now, it had to be a military type weapon. It could be an M16. It could be a Glock.
An improved spoon.
It could be. There are no cooking utensils on this plane.
Like a bayonet bracket mount for your spoon to put on a rifle.
Yeah, there are some
Look, it's got a
bayonets
laser
for the
guide.
M16s that are in here,
It's got a
so
laser sight.
you could affix a bayonet to a spoon, I guess, if you wanted to. But
Or,
you've
no,
got a
if you wanted to affix a
50-50
spoon to a
chance
rifle.
of, you guys get in here, and Huff has no problem jumping into this thing and, get this great big armored truck. And he starts it up, and even with the flat tires, he cranks on it a few times. And he starts it up, and black smoke comes rolling out of it. He grabs reverse real quick and backs it up, and now you guys can get beyond the bulkhead. So you're up in
Turns it
there.
off because we are in an enclosed environment. I would not like all that carbon monoxide, please.
You make it up in beyond this bulkhead, and you're like, well, there's some shit that survived. Everybody has a 50-50 chance of finding a military type weapon that you might like to take with you. And you all find a week's worth of food apiece. So 35 different MREs.
I don't know. Donnie might need some extras. He gets hungry sometimes. Can we say there's 38?
Actually, it'd be 35 times 3, so 105 MREs. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Do you want us to roll something?
I want you to roll, yes, but you got to tell me. So if it's under 50, if it's 50 and under, you find a weapon, military weapon of your choice, and you can go in there and grab a, but it has to be something from the 1960s, 60s and 70s, something in there. Donnie Donovan.
Does it seem like a Vietnam era cargo plane kind of thing?
Yeah. Donnie, you rolled under 50. Was that your roll? Yes? No? He left. Rondon, who's next there? 37. Sid Galewin finds a weapon.
I have no idea what weapon I find.
Well, then go dig around and find it. Peggy.
Peggy, look for one of those those military issue sawed-off shotguns.
I was hoping to find a shotgun as well.
37. Gunther.
I'll fix a spoon
Ding,
to
ding,
the
ding,
shotgun.
ding, ding, ding. I noticed Huff doesn't even want to roll. He's like, I don't want to.
It's not that. I can't find my percentile dice.
Right-click on the D10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay, I remembered how to do that. Somehow.
Oh!
Can you Benny these?
Yeah, you can. I'll let you use a Benny at your, risk of your own peril.
I'm good.
I think he's already pretty.
Everybody else found something.
He's probably pretty weaponed up. Yeah, everybody else found something. So dig around in there. You found some meals. You found.
Is pump action shotgun viable?
Yeah, but it's probably a sawed off. It's a 12 gauge pump action sawed off shotgun. With a pistol grip on it. Yeah, police military issue. You find it mounted into an MP's Willys Jeep. There's a Willys Jeep that's
What exactly is a street sweeper?
That's a double barrel 12 gauge sawed off shotgun with a pistol.
No, it is a semi-automatic shotgun with a drum.
Oh,
They're very basic. They're produced in South America. You see them in like the action movies. They got the pistol grip in the front, and it just boom, 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 boom. They're not very reliable. They're cheap.
Yeah, but you can sweep a street with them.
Yeah.
They were one of those pesky demonstrations,
they look like one of the grenade launchers, kind of, sort of. Like just the basic, like, smoke grenade launchers that the police use. But it's a shotgun.
Well, there's pump action and sawed-off double barrel, but I don't know the difference.
The pump action is fine. It's just sawed off. It's a
Yeah.
descriptor.
Doesn't look
It's
like
not going to be.
yeah, it
It's
doesn't.
gonna have the sawed off range on it though. So you're going to lose a little bit of
Oh, okay.
range. But you're going to, instead of having
5,
3
so it
shots, you're
goes
going
to
to have
5, 10,
6.
20. Right. Well, the double barrel would be 2 shots.
Yeah, instead of having 2 shots, you'd have 6 because a pump you can
gotcha.
take the plug out of it and it'll hold 1 in the chamber and 5 in the
Right.
magazine for
The thingamabob.
yeah, the tube, man. You can take the plug out and put more shell. Of course, this is a military police gun. It has no plug in it. It's ready to go. You guys also find some ammunition for these
Another quick
military
question.
military
turn
weapons. Hang on, you guys find some ammunition for these military weapons. Unfortunately, if you've got something like some other kind of like a 1911 or something, there's no ammunition for that. But there is ammunition for M16s, for all kinds of stuff like that in ammunition boxes. But there's not much. I'll give you a couple of 50 round boxes apiece. Huff? Huff? You're digging around in this shit, and you actually find a box, and inside the box is a bunch of like Spanish moss, and in the Spanish moss are several. There's 6 grenades in here,
Ah, all right.
and they look like all you got to do is arm them, and they're good to go. So
Right. Peggy finds a bazooka.
Peggy finds a bazooka. That's fine. Just remember, it'd be very easy to blow your asses all to hell with a bazooka.
Marv, but you said 2 boxes of our associated ammo.
Yeah, 2 boxes. So 100 rounds of. If you found an M16, you got 100 rounds. If you found a Glock, you got
Shotgun
100
is
rounds.
25.
Shotgun is
M16
25. Then
is-
you got 50 boxes. You got 50 rounds. You get
Would it be the M16 or the M16A2?
the M16A2 because the M16 was a piece of shit. It doesn't matter in the game here. I think they do the same, but
I know
And-
they're slightly different.
And my other question is, didn't you turn off the encumbrance rule?
yes.
It seems to still be affecting me.
Is
Yeah,
it
me
giving you
too.
a penalty, or is it just saying it's that at the bottom?
Well, it's saying it, and it's also lowering my pace.
Is it
Oh.
really? Let's take a look real quick. Open the options up here.
So we're just talking about basic pineapple. Grenade.
Yeah, pineapple grenade. Yeah.
Right.
Not status indicators, not Sirenscape, not adventure deck, not character advances tab, not weather. Setting rules. Nope. Automation encumbrance is off.
Try toggling it off and then back on. 'cause
I did.
feel like that might be a thing.
I just did.
It's still affecting my pace, so I'm just gonna remove some weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, no, you can't pick up 12 grenade launchers, 12 bazookas, something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna look at your inventory from time to time, and if I think you're overloaded, you're fucking overloaded, and I'll say something about it, and you can toss some shit out or not. But no, we're not gonna.
How many candelabras are you carrying?
Exactly. I just don't care to get caught up in the minutia of little bullshit in a game like that. I'd rather the story be told, So, all right.
Don't carry your horse around.
It is 8:20. We've got about an hour and 40 minutes left. We're going to take a 10-minute break.
That means you got to get up, Izzy.
Izzy, you got to get up. Got to get up, Izzy. I'm going to start some music. And you guys stick around, and we'll be right back. We're trickling back in. Slowly but surely. Well, don't call me Shirley. We're halfway through the evening. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. Awesome. All right. Except
I got
for
a rock.
you got pineapple grenades, man.
Yes.
I got
Yes, I get that.
yeah. 6
Hey,
of them to
better
be
than a
precise.
poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Or, I guess
Better
in
than
Peggy's case, sharp
poke in your
spoon.
eye.
I mean, I'm tempted to go with a flamethrower, but
What? No, you're not going with the flamethrower. No,
Donnie with a flamethrower.
no.
I mean, on the one hand, that sounds horrible. On the other hand,
It sounds like something I need in my life.
on our wooden boat in the ocean.
No heavy
Peggy's
weapons.
bazooka.
That's the easiest way to put it. No heavy weapons. Personal
Okay,
weapons
so
because
no
number
bazooka,
one,
Peggy.
no bazooka because Peggy couldn't carry a bazooka from here to the shore walking on this kelp. No way.
There's no strength requirement. I was looking at it.
I'll carry it for her.
That can't be right.
Well,
Yeah, I know, I was
no,
weird.
it's
I was like,
that's right. I mean, they're like a pipe. There's not much
Yeah.
to them really. It's a
Now,
launch
it's
tube.
not actually on the item list, but they had spear javelin. Could I have like a spear gun? One with like a little line that you reel in?
A spear gun?
harpoon gun.
Well, you could, but
Yeah,
it'd
one of the
have
harpoon
fishing
guns with
line
the
on it.
little lens. Yeah, like the heavy, thick fishing line. Yeah, I'm not going to use it. I already got a pistol and a rifle. I don't really need another, like,
Yeah, but heavy,
gun.
thick line like that, you're going to have maybe 2 paces worth. In other words, you know what I mean? Because if it was that heavy and you wanted to have 30 paces worth of shot on it, that reel would be like this big around, like size of a basketball.
Donnie's been lifting weights.
Well, I mean, it's not the weight.
Right.
It's at
Yeah,
that
he
point it
goes
doesn't
out
really
and
become
Chuck
a
Norris training videos,
yeah.
Isn't that cable?
infomercials.
That cable's pretty heavy too.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah, it wouldn't be steel. I mean, steel cable that thick. Now, I mean, something modern. Yeah, I could see something like that in 1986. At least not on this plane that's been here since about 1972, 73.
I think it might be in bad shape. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Once we get back and we get that huge reward from that guy.
Huge.
Main thing is, I wanted people to have a pistol, a rifle, or a shotgun, and enough ammunition to last for a little while. Okay.
No dual wielding spoons, huh?
And some food. You did not
No, that
find.
comes later.
You didn't. You do find some sporks in plastic wraps.
We'll
That ain't-
have something to eat our MREs.
I
with
mean,
at
they
least.
even got the Colonel. They even got Colonel Sanders on them. You know, one of the first places that you could get a spork with your food. The Colonel was a great supporter of sporks.
But yeah, if he wasn't, he wouldn't have gotten promoted that far. If he didn't like the sports, he'd be Lieutenant Sanders.
And nobody wants to go to a chicken place owned by Lieutenant Sanders.
Lieutenant Sanders fried chicken. Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs. All right. So you know it's you still got daylight.
Let's go find that towers that we saw when we were on the boat, Marb said, because we had some binoculars.
Some binoculars.
Since the plane is out of the water, can we stand at the door elevated, use our binoculars, and look around? See if we can find this tower on the horizon.
The back of it, if you climb back up and got on the tail, is kind of sitting up, you know, like this. Maybe if you climbed up, you know, the tail.
Yeah, let's do that. Climb, climb, climb.
Well, it's a success. Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of grunts and swearing. Accidentally kick Sid in the head. Oh, sorry.
Ow.
All right, so you get up there and you look out as far as the eye can see, and you basically see the shores of an island. Lots of kind of palm trees and more
Yeah, I
jungly
found the
looking
island.
trees, and you
We have to
basically
get off the plane.
you guys are out here.
But there's a big
Roger,
cat.
Roger. There's a big cat. Oh, hi, Harvey.
It's gargantuan.
That is it's a gargantuan cat. I
Oh no,
want
it's a
to.
kaiju cat.
And also with that gargantuan size, that's the lower limit I put in there. 100 feet and however much. Technically, it's still gargantuan when it's up to like 1,000 feet and like up to like 125,000 tons or something.
Right.
Okay.
That's the island. Guys, I see the island.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is this like an inlet that goes up into it?
Yeah, and you guys are just like right out here a little way.
Are we looking at a map?
You shared a map.
Yep.
Oh,
It's buried under your stuff somewhere because I see you've got it loaded.
no, I was just alt tabbed.
Oh.
I didn't see that it was shared.
It was a slacker.
I'll blame Brad.
Damn it, Yankin.
So there you go.
I mean, Yankin.
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 That's probably about accurate.
So, what would you guys like to do?
Let's go to the island before it gets dark.
I'd like to make for that point right there.
Did you bring the statue thingy?
Yes, I have the statue.
Yeah, so, about a half a click, a few hundred yards, quarter mile, you can get to that point right there, and you guys do so uninterrupted, and you find yourself on this island. And you can see that that there's a, if there's going to be an advantage someplace, there's a hill like in this direction.
Well, about what time of the day is it when we reach the shore?
5 o'clock.
So dusk will be here soon.
Yep.
Should we
An
set
hour,
up
hour and a
camp
half.
here and
Maybe we should go in the tower because outside is the the Soviets.
don't see a
will
tower.
Get us.
The Soviets
see a
will
tower.
get you outside.
well, we definitely
You
don't
are
wanna
close
make
to Cuba,
camp
you
on
think?
top of a hill.
Let's check on the hill.
How long will it take us to get up on the hill?
Yeah, half an hour maybe.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad.
You get up there about the time the sun's going down. And around you, you kind of look down, you can see to the east a long barren valley. It doesn't look like there's any grass growing. And in the middle of it is like this bone tower, right?
It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Wait, what?
What?
Because it's barren and wide open and never mind.
There's a bone tower.
Um,
I think we found the tower.
and I think what I'm going to do is go in here and remove the global mask. You guys find yourself here, and you're looking down. It looks like a huge crater over here. Probably about another, 30 minutes walk. You could probably get there before it's dark. And you can see this long, barren valley down through here. And out in the middle is a tower that even from this great distance you can see because it just resonates power.
It's gargantuan.
It's gargantuan and resonates power. But it seems to be like solid milky white, no windows or anything from
Yeah, I think
this great
some of
distance.
these French guys are trying to compensate.
Yeah, it looks like an alabaster tower from over here. Should we set up camp on the hill, or is that wise?
Also, for some reason, it was mentioned that we could get there very quickly to this crater, which makes me
Yeah.
worried.
Yeah.
I concur.
A
I think we
crater's
should-
off in that
Maybe we
direction.
Maybe we should make for that crater and look to seek shelter there.
All right, so the bone tower is
I mean, if you lit a
Like,
fire here,
right around here.
anybody
right
on
out
this
there in the
island
middle.
could see it.
That's it.
We're on the
Oh, I
map.
see it. I see it now. I just had to scroll over a little more.
All right, no more drinking Z vines that you found on the plane.
It looks like you could put batteries in it. And, yeah. Anyway, they didn't really. They didn't have a bone tower, so let me.
That was properly phallic.
And I can properly phallic,
All
and I can
towers are.
actually share that on. Yes, they are. That's why men build them. Look at the size of my tower. I can take about an hour on the Tower of Power, long as I get a little golden shower. Oh, yeah.
What?
So what indeed?
Frank Zappa, man. Frank Zappa. Bobby Brown Goes Down. You need to listen to it. Funniest fucking songs. You've heard it, Benno. I've played it for you when one of our favorite bots still worked. Anyway, there's your island. You guys
Yeah,
are
I think I was still like, what the fuck at that point too.
you're currently on a hill here and all these trees, but you're able to kind of climb up a tree and see out this way a little ways and blah blah blah. So that's where you're at. Yes, you could get to here by dark and probably anywhere here by dark, but you'd be out in the open. You are definitely skylighting anybody who is on the island that could see you right now on top of this hill. If you built a fire up here, people could see you for miles.
Should
So
we go down the hill?
I feel like we're being told we shouldn't build a fire on the hill.
Yeah, we should make for that crater and look for shelter there.
Yeah, how come it's didn't fill it with the water? That is the question.
I say we just head back down towards the hill, like this way ish.
I mean, as long as we're out of the water, we're fine.
It's the crater.
as you stand here and
No,
talk
not
about it,
the
it
crater.
gets darker and darker. The sun's long since set, but the
Why
sky
would
is
not
still
go to
light,
the crater, Sid?
fading quickly. And as it
Because there could be unknown
does,
dangers there.
There's unknown dangers everywhere.
What was that?
Sharkman came up from the ground.
From the water.
Same thing here.
Big difference between ground and water.
Not around here, it's not.
Huff
mean,
is
it's
actually
kinda similar here.
relinquishing command to Donnie.
No, Donnie's the leader.
He did take the leadership abilities, didn't he?
Mhm.
And he knows karate. Yeah, Donnie, what do we do? Sid wants to go and fight the Sharkman, I think.
No, just go down the hill a bit and make camp. just
Give
so
me
we're
notice
not
rolls.
sticking out like a sore thumb.
Let's give him a notice roll. Look over
I mean, do
there.
we really want to make camp though?
It is getting dark, or it is dark.
Yeah, what happens
You've
when it gets
30
dark?
minutes, it's going to be black, dark.
There's a scary bad guy. Did we bring that thing that
Scary
scares him
bag.
away?
Yes.
I'll
Yeah,
find
in
it.
my backpack.
Perhaps we should ask why he's chasing us before he escapes.
Do we see anything?
Isn't he kind of early? Because it's not midnight.
Yeah, it's true. We don't have to worry about dark. We have to worry about midnight. Well, we can...
Yeah, that's for that thing. But what comes out here at night?
What?
I've been in the bush before.
Well, one way to find out.
Okay, so looking at the party
It's not that
sheet,
big
the
of an island.
order tab, I want you guys to, that's the marching order that you set up, and that's your watch order you set up at some. If, going forward, I will always rely on those things. So that is the order in which people are, You go into a building, you go, down a trail. This is the Huffs up front, and then followed by the other two right behind, and then, the Lovebirds.
Are you safely in the middle?
I want to make it more dramatic and symmetrical.
There you
There
go.
you go.
And Hail Mary, full of grace. Pray for us sinners now and in our hour of death. Never mind. Okay, so that is the order, and you are moving this way towards the crater or this way towards the valley.
Well, let's see what Donnie thinks. What do you think, Donnie?
I'm hoping that thing he gave us really helps, but even if it doesn't, if we're not going to make it to the tower, we might want to shield ourselves in the crater somewhere, try to defend.
Yeah, or we could just go find
Oh.
this thing in the towers and take a nap.
Well, we do have the statue that keeps them away because it did last night.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the guy on the horse. I'm worried about what I don't know that's here.
Yeah, I'm worried about just making a camp on this hill. So if we want to go in the crater, I suppose that's better than the hill.
I'm going to set off down towards the crater.
To the crater.
All right. Is everybody going with him? Anybody staying behind?
To the crater.
Not down to split the party right now, so yeah.
So you're not down to split the party. Everybody takes off towards the crater. And you go down lower than, because whatever impacted the ground here, like meteor or whatever, pushed the land up around it. So you kind of go down into a valley, and then you know that coming up you'll be able to see over the edge. But it's almost completely dark now, and you can see like some lights, different colored lights, like about every minute, a different color of light starts shining to the north in the sky as you're moving towards this crater. Experimental disco.
We're way too south. We're way too south for the Aurora Borealis.
The Aurora Middle Alice. Ha ha ha.
Maybe there was something wrong with those MREs after all.
Mm.
It did seem like it was
What is it?
Well, you first notice it.
Did have a lot of text.
Is this map played? West, north, south? Where's north on this map?
North on this
Is it
map?
top north?
That's north. That's north. I don't know. I just drew the damn map.
Okay.
Let's just say top is
Irrelevant.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, you get almost to there. The first thing you notice is the sky lightens, and you look up, and there's like this white light shining for like a mile across, or
Oh no, it's
half
the
a mile
aliens coming to
across.
take fish.
And then it slowly starts to dim, and then this strange purple, and you guys have all seen this because you had them on your walls growing up as kids for your black light poster. You're like, man, that's a black light. And you're climbing up this thing, and you start smiling. Your teeth are all glowing yellow and shit, and your eyes, the whites of your eyes are all glowing yellow. And before you can get to the top of it, it changes again, and the purplish black light becomes a red light, and it emanates. It's lighting up the sky. It's that bright.
I think Gunther might be onto something with it being an experimental disco.
Yeah. Hey, Donnie, do you have one of those Geiger counters? I'm afraid this is radioactive.
I wasn't, but I've heard things about what happens. Extra ears, fingers, no hair.
Hunger, no hair.
Well, I'm hoping it's more like the comic books, like you're irradiated and you get these awesome powers.
Are you trying to be Spooderman again?
I told you, Fish, it was an accident, in a foreign city. I didn't mean to buy a copy of Spooderman.
Spooderman does whatever Spooderman can. You get up here on the edge and you're looking down into this crater, and sure enough, it glows, and about every minute the light changes color. Blue, then gray,
Can we time it and see if it's exact?
then back to white.
So
You can.
it's a meteor or a meteorite.
Would be the aliens.
Every 60 seconds it changes color. White,
What time did
black, red,
Close Encounters of the Third Kind come out? I
blue,
think that was an 80s movie.
gray.
70s,
White.
1977, 78.
Was it
Yeah.
the latter 70s?
Yeah.
And then it was followed by Wilford Brimley and
1977.
what was the old people?
I've seen this movie. And Sid begins voicing the notes from the movie.
Sid's gonna start singing to the crater.
Can I while he's whistling, can I flash my flashlight in the same pattern?
Now it's a rave.
Thank God you
Yeah.
flashlight.
You can, but it's just a white or a yellow beam flashlight. You know, you can't change the colors on it unless you brought some gel paper with you. You know.
No, I just wanted, accompany.
These cliffs look very deep. You can see them glowing, and they're like, you know, it's like 60, 70 feet down, but it appears to be on the far side of it when the white light lights up enough for you to see. It looks like a road or a trail or something going in down in that direction.
How far does it look like it would take for us? How far away is that? How long would it take for us to get there?
Well, stumbling through the grass and shit here because you're on top of this ridge, like this whole area outside the crater is elevated to the ground around it. So, you know, if you stayed on this elevated part where you could keep an eye on the crater, it might be a little treacherous going, but you could get there, you know, another 30-minute walk around this crater, you're there.
Gosh, should we do that? Donnie, do you feel like walking further, or do you want to wait here?
I don't know if we want to get that close to that
Oh,
meteorite.
I have no intention of staying here alone.
Do we see what's in the crater causing the light?
Nope.
Well, I'm just assuming it's a meteorite that's,
Does
Because
alien and such
well,
and
you
just
don't
lighting up.
see, you can't see the bottom of the crater. You don't, at least you don't think you can. You're not sure. All you can see is light, and it changes from one color to another. You don't really see the bottom of the crater. It's like you're just looking into this light.
Don't go into the light, Donnie. Don't go into the light.
You know, maybe it's the floor of the crater that's changing colors, but you do your little test thing. Every 60 seconds, the light changes a different color. Gray. Blue.
Is it following a pattern?
Yeah, what's the pattern of the colors?
I mean, I'm assuming
White.
we would notice a pattern if it was
Black.
Yeah.
Here, I'll do this.
What are we doing? Covered in
There you go.
anticipation.
That gives you what you need to know right there.
white, black, red, blue, gray.
white, black, red, gray.
Simon?
I will make the mountain.
Oh, so the minute of each color.
Yeah. So it's a white light for a minute, and then it's a black light, and then red.
So it's a 5-minute sequence, 5-minute cycle.
So there will be 12 full cycles in an hour.
I don't know.
It's like a clock.
12, the holy number. 12 disciples, 12 tribes. 12 is the
I
magic
thought the
number.
holy number was 3. Or was it 7? It might be 7.
There's a lot of holy numbers.
One
a lot easier for things
is
to
the
keep
loneliest number that could ever be.
That's
Two
because
can
you
be as
did all
lonely
the
as
other lines up and there's only one left. You're like, man, that's the last line.
Yeah.
I'm just so lonely. Cocaine, my best friend. Oh.
No, not that guy again.
All
Say
right, so then are
hello
we
to
making our way
Bandito.
down around the edge to the?
Yeah.
Looks there's an opening down there to
Are
the
you?
northwest.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're marching one at a time. You get here. You're still standing at the. You kind of move around this way, and it's right here. It starts going down. You're standing there looking down into this light. You're walking down the trail. You're walking down the trail, and Huff, you come to
Hold
a
up.
point.
Right.
You come to a point where you can see on both sides of you, like this light is emanating from here. Like you could reach out and touch the light. It looks physical right here as you're coming down the
Okay,
trail.
hold up. I'm
Okay.
not just gonna walk into that.
Let's throw a rock.
Yeah.
There are rocks we can throw at it.
Sure, there's rocks on the trail.
Here you go, Huff. Throws
There's
at it.
no rocks.
Only pumice stones.
Yeah. Or throw a rock.
Here, throw it. I will stand here and take notes.
Somebody's gonna throw a rock. I don't see any rock being thrown. Who's throwing a rock? Nobody's volunteering to throw a rock in there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm throwing
Huff?
rocks there.
I thought Fish said he was.
All right.
No, I'm handing one to Huff.
Huff,
Oh.
before you can even react, the rock comes right back and hits you right between the eyes. Boom. No, I'm kidding. You throw a rock into the
Toss it underhand into the light.
What color is the light that you toss it into?
Yeah, that's what I.
Go with the
Yeah,
white
that's-
because that's the brightest.
Right, white. When it turns white.
When it turns white, you toss
I'll
this
wait.
rock underhanded into it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see the rock flare real bright white and then just disappear.
Yeah. Okay, so then that happens.
Okay. Well,
Let's
Got
wait
it.
and run back just in case.
Fish.
well,
Soviet Navy fish. What was that?
But it went into the light and then we couldn't see it because it was very bright.
I think it burned up.
Could have
So
been
when it turns-
lasers.
So when it turns black, I'll toss another rock towards it.
A glowing rock.
We'll just rock around.
What does server deafen do?
Server deafen?
Does that mean they can't hear any audio? I right
I
clicked
think
on
so.
somebody's name here so if I'm talking to you, Veno, and I do this, can you still hear me? If I do this, are you
No, I
listening
cannot
to
hear
me?
you.
I can hear you.
So now can you hear me again?
Yes.
Okay, that's what it does. That's cool. Never knew that. That bird looks like it's what? Oh my gosh! Oh, it's a little wind-up chicken. You know what? That's pretty good. Other than it walks through it, it looked like it was all lined up, just good, and a bird walked through it. Anyway, so yeah, what do you do now? Rock flares, disappears.
Same way in the black light.
Throw another one in. The rock glows, and you can see like the white specks in it turn yellowish, as it fades in, and then it just gets real bright and disappears.
I'm gonna find a stick, and when it turns red, like a long stick, so I can
Uh-huh.
stand back as far as possible and stick the end in, and then pull it back to see what happened to the end.
Good idea.
You stick the long stick in there,
Just the end of it.
just the end of it, and it flares really bright and just keeps flaring really bright and keeps flaring really bright.
I retract the stick
you
and look at the end.
Tracked it, and it looks fine. Looks normal.
Does it feel warm or anything?
No.
If I poke Sid with it, does he develop some sort of radioactive superpowers?
You ever seen a match burn twice? No, he doesn't develop any radioactive superpowers.
Yeah, it seems like it's fine. Why don't you go on, Donnie? You can go right in. Yeah.
Well,
Sid
you
will
gotta
just
say it's
shrug.
okay.
Is that some Boone's Farm there, Cobbler? What you got, Boone's Farm?
No, it's more the Beaujolais Roulage.
Oh, bourgeois bourgeois. The bourgeois and the
Peggy's a classic
bourgeois.
lady.
They put it in their boudoir. In the
Sid
back
shrugs
door.
and walks towards
Customized
it.
my characters.
There you go. Customized for you. Okay. So yeah, nothing seems to happen. He doesn't blister up with radioactive poisoning or anything.
No
Yeah,
superpower.
Sid shrugs and just walks into the black light.
All right.
But you're gonna wait till it goes black again because I poked mine in red.
Oh, did you turn red? Then I walk into the red then.
Okay. Everybody just hang tight. Don't go anywhere.
Uh-oh. The curiosity is killing me.
That's why I asked
And
about
it might
server
quite
mute.
literally.
Okay, so now you and I can hear each other, right?
Yes.
All right. You walked into the red one, right?
Yes.
You appear to be flying through outer space without the aid of a ship or spacesuit. The
And I'm able
voyage
to breathe.
The voyage seems long and tedious. After what seems like eons, a planet is spotted, and the planet resembles Earth, except that the land masses look different. Do you have any academics or science?
No. Common knowledge.
No. The
It was just keyboard anyway.
The journey continues into the planet's atmosphere, and the very air begins to glow and burn as friction builds up, and the heat and pain are tremendous. Finally, you splash down in a salt sea. I need you to make a luck roll. Okay.
They can hear me apparently.
That's that. They can hear you, that they can't hear me.
And they hear you.
Wow, so that doesn't work.
Yeah, you have to mute them. That means they can't talk in the channel. If you don't want them to hear, you have to deafen them.
Oh, well, there. We'll change all that. So, fuck you guys. The ones that can still hear me.
That's all of us.
So, yeah, I should have just done that. All right, so now they can't hear. All right, you made it. So, first thing I want you to do is open up the edges. I want you to take the background edge magic.
Oh.
And I want you to take the skill spellcasting. You've got a D4 in spellcasting. You will probably have to load. Let me see. I'm probably gonna have to. No, it should be magic under.
Yeah, just arcane background magic.
Yeah, arcane background magic, which I believe it tells you relies on spellcasting as your, instead of focus or whatever is spellcasting.
Yeah, it's spellcasting.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so you got D4 in spellcasting, right? And you now have a permanent +1 wound threshold.
Oh, there's an edge for that. I'll have to find it.
Yeah, Herald gives you the same thing. You can take 4 wounds instead of 3 without going down. Okay. All right. I'm muting you out, and I'm bringing the other guys back in. Cool?
All right.
All right. Rest you guys with?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
You guys see Sid Galewin say, "Oh, fuck this," and he walks right into the red light. and he flares to a brilliance and then disappears.
After he flares,
Oh, there goes our
flares
pilot.
to a brizz. After that, can I try to poke him with the stick from outside?
The stick will not enter the red light. It just hits something solid.
I'm gonna try to knock on the red light.
Hey, I
Solid.
thought you told me it was safe. That shit just ate him.
But, sorry, I was wrong.
You guys have a conversation. You're like, what the fuck are we going to do? I thought you said it was safe. It ate him.
Well, I guess we take camp. He'll be back.
So the fish turns around and walks off, goes, I'm going to go back camp.
Well, let's go do it here, because at least we get a cool light show.
Oh, you're just going to sit down right here?
Yeah, I'm gonna rest while we
Okay.
figure out what's going
You
on.
guys look at him like
Alright.
like what the fuck? And then the light goes from red to blue.
I poke it with a stick.
The stick goes inside, flares up really bright on the end, and just keeps flaring until you pull it out, and it's still there.
Yeah, we don't need to split up. We need to all go
But
into
to
the
try-
same
hold
color.
on. I'm gonna do a dramatic front flip through try to do a cool front flip into the light because I got a parkour.
You're going into the blue light?
I want to see the blue.
I guess I can do that. There's no sense in
I'm gonna go.
there's no
after them.
sense
I
in
mean,
Vino. I'm gonna mute you, but there's no sense in you not being able to hear. So Vino's muted, but he can hear what's going on because it doesn't make any sense. All right, so the fish sits down and the light turns to blue. He sticks a stick in it. It flares. He pulls it out. Stick's still there. It's not hot to the touch. Doesn't cause radiation blisters.
Lack of superpowers.
30 seconds go by.
Peggy says fuck it and goes into the blue light. She's curious.
Peggy says, fuck it, turns around and
No,
walks
it's not
off.
blue light.
She does have a curious major hindrance after all.
Okay.
well, I'm gonna go impulsively after her.
She walks into the blue light and you bounce off of it right behind her.
Now two of us
yeah.
are trapped.
You bounce off of it, Rondon, as she goes into the blue, flares up and disappears. You try to go in after her and you just boom, just bounce right off the wall. Everybody's deafened
hell
again
no.
for a moment.
Did I get to go in the blue light yet? You didn't mute me, did you?
I'm going to right now. You're deafened. Are you here,
But I went in the blue light.
Mike?
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't she have the keys for the boat?
I'm gonna have to. They can't hear us. You realize that. We can hear them. They can't hear.
That's
So
hilarious.
you're sitting in a diving bell, right?
Okay.
And there's a huge sunken city. It appears on the diving bell's screen. The city's made from huge stones that have now collapsed and are covered with sea plants. The diving bell explores the ruined city. Suddenly, out of one of the buildings darts a giant serpent with an oversized head and hundreds of jellyfish-like tentacles growing from its body. The snake seizes the diving bell. Its huge snout smashes through the screen view. Boom, boom, boom. Its giant fangs drip green Icarus poison. I need you to make me a luck roll.
Oh boy. I've been meaning to level that up. Hey, alright.
Very nice. You are now immune from all poisons.
Nice.
If the luck die is a 4 or less, the viewer is unconscious for a full day. Okay, I'm going to mute you, but you'll be able to hear. So,
Yeah, first.
Brad, Don,
Me.
Ron. Who said that they tried to go in behind him? Huff. And Huff
Yeah.
bounced off the blue light. You're like, what the fuck? and you
If I
throw
start
rocks.
pounding on the side of it. No.
Boom,
I'll
boom,
start
boom,
pounding on
boom,
the side
boom,
of the
boom.
thing.
Nothing. It's like cold steel. You can't get through it. You can't get through it. You can't get through it. Eventually, the light turns to gray,
Well,
and
then
you
I guess
fall
I fall
forward.
Through, it turns gray.
You fall forward. Okay. Let's see. Who has not? Brad is not. Brad hasn't been. Yep, you're poking it with your stick. I'm muting, deafening you, Brad. And who else?
Donnie's still here. It's starting to look worrisome. I'm pretty sure she had the keys.
All right.
Not many of us left.
Rondon, let's see. You walk into the gray light. You're lying on your back on a conveyor belt, strapped down and helpless. The belt passes under a large machine marked surgery, and you feel a sudden and terrible pain in your hand. You're right-handed?
Yeah.
In your right hand. When the conveyor exits the machine, you see in horror that your right hand is missing.
What?
It keeps moving forward, and you go quickly under a second machine as the blood runs out the end of your stump, and the second machine is marked medical, and your arm shoots up and something comes in and cauterizes the fucking wound. Fucking burns like hell, man. Half your hand and about 6 inches up your forearm are gone and now cauterized on your right hand. A third machine marked replacement replaces the lost hand with a duplicate hand of steel. The conveyor belt passes under a fourth machine marked animation. A red sign on the machine flashes malfunction, malfunction, malfunction.
Of course, that's
I need you to make me a luck roll.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Good fucking luck. All right, here we go.
You guys are all so fucking lucky. If successful, the viewer has an animated steel hand. The hand functions normally in every respect, but it does an additional 2 die types of damage in unarmed combat. If unsuccessful, the viewer has a steel hand that can't move. The viewer must use his other hand from now on. He will have a -2 penalty to hit in both ranged and close combat. Only one-handed weapons can be used. The -2 penalty is reduced by 1 point per adventure, blah, 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 blah. So,
wow.
There you go.
Wow.
All right. There are 2 people left over here. So I'm going to mute you out again. All right. Donnie and Fish. The light eventually turns from gray to white.
Well, do you want to go into the white light, Donnie?
I gotta pick it. I guess white is probably the best option. It's supposed to be good, right?
So Donnie steps into it.
Plus, I think they took the food and the keys with them.
Peggy did have the keys.
Donnie steps forward going, she's got the keys!
Take the white light.
And Brad is deafened. All right, Donnie, you step into the white light. You see a city built from giant blocks of marble. The city is populated by shaggy-haired humanoids, 2-legged, intelligent reptiles, horrible-looking walking squids, giant amoeba-like creatures, and golden-skinned humans with large domed heads. You see strange machines of metal and flesh patrolling the city. The actions of the city's inhabitants is so alien that it's impossible for you to determine exactly what's going on. You start to freak out because it looks so fucking weird. The scene both attracts and repels you at the same time. 30 seconds pass, then a full minute, and you're overcome by panic. You can't fucking take it anymore. You pass out. The strange world's spinning around you. I need you to make a luck roll. Oh, very good. If successful, the individual gains the power of clairvoyance. So the first thing I need you to do is take the background edge magic, and I need you to take the skill spellcasting, of which you have a D4 in it. And then you'll take the power clairvoyance. And I may need to load some of these up. I'm going to handle Brad real quick, and then we'll get everybody else back into the group. So I'm going to mute you for a second. Brad, you're the last one, Fish. Everybody else has disappeared, and the light turns black.
Well, I consider going back, but they do have the snacks and the keys. And I'm scared of more sharkmen, so I guess I casually mosey on in.
Into the black light.
Yes.
Or do you wait for another color?
No, it seemed like it was a one-person, one-color situation
It's
before.
that's brilliant deduction. Okay, so
Also,
with
I don't
you
want
being the
Oxygen,
last
it's
one
big.
in, I'm gonna let's see. Let me unmute everybody. I think it should be Cobbler. Now, you guys, you're unmuted, but give me just a moment to get through this. So Fish, you see two giant human-like figures battling. One figure has a muscular body, medium length, light brown hair, and steely blue eyes. He wields a 10-foot long two-handed sword that glows bright yellow. His opponent's more difficult to distinguish, as he's surrounded by shadows. The second man seems smaller and leaner with dark hair and a beard. He's dressed in gray and wields a dusky gray spear. He defends with a large, hazy black shield.
That's weird.
The two figures are blah and blah. Unlike other hologram,
watched
has
them.
arranged this vision. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. I want you to roll me a.
So where am I? What does it look like?
Looks like a battle in the sky with the world below you. Roll a d10. Okay. And then roll me a d20.
I don't even have one of those down here anymore.
If you could increase a die type, would it be science or smarts?
Smarts.
Those are two different things.
I know. If you could increase a die type,
I would increase smarts. That makes more sense.
you now have a d8 in smarts.
Yeah.
My brain has got so big.
Okay, I'm going to put all this text in here, the text bubbles, for you guys to. Now, nobody knows what the other people's seen, right? So, white light. Who's the white light?
In character was.
Who was
That
the
was
white?
Donnie.
Donnie? There's what I read to you, Donnie. Black light. That's what I read for the black light. And that way you guys can drag these to your notes if you want. The red light. That's what I read. The blue light. And the gray light. Now, everybody, because some of you I didn't tell you to do this because it was irrelevant at the time. Everybody needs to make sure they now have the background edge. So open up your edges and take the background edge magic.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Okay.
And then you are going to take the
Arcane background magic.
arcane background magic. Yes. I'm sorry, arcane background.
Just wanted to make sure there was like a special one you added that I didn't
And
see.
then everybody should now have the skill spell casting, and you should have a D4 in it. So somebody asked earlier, why don't I just give you magic? Well, there's a little bit of that existing now. Who got the clairvoyance? Donnie?
I did. I did not find the power.
The conspiracy theorist, of course.
Right. I thought everybody's choice actually worked out well for their characters. It was really.
Yeah, I think I could put this iron fist to good use.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody else would have gotten it, what would Peggy have done? Well, she'd have put her spoon away. Okay,
Our
so
spoon stays in that hand permanently.
let me go to the not the assets. Hang on. All right, modules.
So everybody made their luck roll.
I just need to make sure that the superpowers companion is shared, I believe. Yeah? No?
No, all I have is Slade and Adventure Duck and then Salmon.
There's superpowers.
There we go.
Yeah, second edition.
Do what?
Yes.
No, I actually made these. They should be. Do I have to
Superpowers
share them or
companion?
something? I created them.
Yeah, if you created them, you still have to share them.
Okay, well then you don't need the superpowers. I'm gonna turn that back off.
Okay.
To powers. Clairvoyance.
Yeah, speaking of
There you go.
of powers and such, since we are getting the arcane background, does that mean that we automatically get the 3 powers that goes with it?
No.
Oh.
What are they? They're like
Well,
cantrips,
I mean,
aren't
you
they?
choose.
Huh?
No, you choose.
When you take
Oh
it
no,
normally,
no,
you choose
no, no,
3
no,
powers.
no, you do not.
Okay.
I'm just using
Learn
this.
this along as we go along.
Yeah, you guys will find out there's a whole lot more power to be had out there. But how your character comes together is more a matter of fate. Of fate and odds. It's more of a matter of rolling dice, I guess you'd say.
Where am I looking for the list of edges?
The list of edges is under character
Under
on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Did anybody else get a magic power? Clairvoyance?
You said I had an immunity, but I don't know what to do with that.
You're immune to all poison. So
Yeah, I don't think there's really an effect or anything.
there's
like
not
that.
really there's not an effect. You just have to remember that if I ever try to
Well,
attack you with something poisonous, you just have to say, hey, I'm.
Well, if you want to put go to your edges and just add a new item and just put a poison immunity or something,
Fair
just
enough.
so you know. I don't think there's really any sort of effect that'll come into play with it. Now, I wonder if that would technically be considered, or if drugs would be considered poison.
And alcohol, she can no longer get drunk.
Oh, jeez.
That's great.
There you go.
Boy.
So
You
you've
guys
got
should still
you
get
got
drunk,
poison
you can't
immunity
die, though.
on your sheet there. All right. Does anybody else need help coding or?
Yeah, I have this metal hand. What
Okay,
the hell?
so let's see. Huff.
You're
So
gonna punch real good.
in combat, yeah, you're gonna punch. You're gonna punch real good. You're gonna pray. You're gonna pray for me real good. Anybody? Anybody? Quote the movie. You gonna pray.
Does sound
You gonna
familiar.
pray real good. Deliverance. One of the most iconic scenes of Ned Beatty's career.
Yeah.
Squeal, Bowman boy. Squeal. Wee. Okay. So, really, we could take brass knuckles off there and put it back. And then change it. Steel fit. And what did it give you?
Ooh,
Let's see. What light you walk into?
correct.
Gray. So that would actually be
It's a completely animated steel fist. Through magic, I'm guessing.
2 die types.
Yeah, no, I guess it's the Swiss are working on that.
Two. So when you went from a D6 to a D10, and what you can do in damage
Sweet.
with your steel fist. So there's your steel fist roll. How come that rolled an 8-sided dice?
Because it says 2d8.
Damage, strength plus D10 is what a steel fist should do.
If it's because it's capped at a strength. If it's not supposed to be, give me a minute. I'll look up what the coding is. Because normally it's capped at your strength.
Right, my strength is 8.
Well, what is your strength?
8.
8? A D8? Well, then it would
Yeah.
just be 8 plus D10.
Bless you.
There you go.
Nice.
No,
You should
that should
put
be
a
what?
question mark after
Yeah.
strength.
Put a question mark after strength.
That'll ignore it won't cap it that way. You might have to do it the other way.
No, I did it.
Nice. All right. Yeah.
8 plus D10. Okay.
Very nice. Cool, Brad. We all learned something tonight. Look, you learn things with Marbanya's Merry Minstrels. These guys are so merry, they teach people merry minstrel things like that. Okay.
So the damage there is a D8 plus a
Add
D10.
exclamation mark.
Do what?
If you did strength exclamation mark, it would make it die higher. That's just the other coding that.
Right. All right.
So,
Has everybody else
steel
got
fist.
anything that they need help doing? Peggy, what'd you get? What'd you do?
You got the poison immunity.
Yeah, poison immunity. Okay. Donnie got clairvoyance. You got steel fist. Sid walked into the blue light, I think.
No, Sid
Not
was
that
red.
was Peggy.
Sid was the red light.
Red. Yeah.
Yep. Did you know how to put the coating on there? I'd imagine you do.
What coding? Coding for what? You just told me to add the background edge and the spell casting skill.
No, you have a +1 permanent +1 wound threshold.
Oh yeah, I added the red light bonus edge. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just basically just added the
And call it
toughest
red light
nails
bonus.
edge.
There you go.
Yep.
So it should just it's the effect in brackets should be wound threshold 1 or 4.
Yeah, 4. It automatically added it because I took it from the
Okay, gotcha.
toughest nails edge.
All right, I think we're good. I think we're good to move on. You guys, after you see all this, you turn around and you can see the other people, and you start walking back towards them, and as they walk into you, and then they disappear, and then you walk out of the light, and Sid, you're the first one out of the light, and you're standing there by yourself. You don't see anybody. They just all walked
where'd
past you.
everybody go? Ooh,
And
I
then
feel
eventually, you guys each pop back out of the light. And the light is now solid. The lights are all now solid. Nobody can pass into it.
What the hell was that?
I know,
What was in this-
What's with your
I'm
arm?
thinking
Look at this!
Oh,
we should have
You're
had
a
a statue with
superhero
us.
now, Huff.
Groovy.
Oh,
put-
I didn't account. Does he have martial arts?
He had like 2 things that increased his damage.
Yeah,
And what-
Brawler and Bruiser.
that's what it was.
Okay.
That's
So that-
perfect.
It should increase his 2 steps with his.
And does anybody else feel tingly?
Yeah, I think that some. I don't think that was actually stroganoff's. That flavor that was mushrooms was the magical kind.
I thought
So,
the texture
what
of them
does-
was kind of weird.
What does Bruiser give you? Toughness by 2 and roll strength D plus D6 when hitting, which that's what it was. It was strength plus D6, and I upped it 2 die types. So
If you
Bruiser
already
does.
have damage die from it's either increase it by 2 instead. If it's
What?
a D10 and it's supposed to be increased by 2, that would put it up to D12 plus 1.
Right. And he had strength plus D6 because of Bruiser instead of strength plus D4, I guess.
Sweetheart.
So D6 plus 2 die types is D10. That's what I've
Alright,
got.
I was
Yeah.
I thought I was asking if it was just a flat D10 and you were supposed to increase it or not.
Yeah,
So it was alright.
It increases it by 2 die types. So
I got you. Now I understand.
now, and that's because he's got Bruiser. So his, Bruiser would have basically been strength plus a D6. Boom, punching him with your bare fist. Okay, because of this, Steel Hand is now strength plus
D10.
D10.
Damn. Yeah, remind me not to arm wrestle with you anymore, Huff.
Well, that
Yeah,
wouldn't
now you
help.
just gotta get Martial Warrior.
What's that?
That would add. That's well, you need 2 to get it, but then it's fighting plus 2 and an extra.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm gonna have to shift the way I was taking this character, as I was telling you. I was originally planning on being a ranged guy, but just like
hitter.
my Odyssey character, it looks like I'm going to turn into a fucking monk. And I'm okay with that.
Gameplay changes things, man. I've been on this kick with all my D&D characters lately. They've been straight classes, whatever. If he's a fighter,
Question.
single class characters. And but in Drake's game Tuesday night, I actually took a level of rogue on my bard. It was too
Rogue
powerful
and
not to.
Bard are a good combo.
I
So,
can't say
Mark.
nothing. I was planning on playing a rogue when we did D&D. Sorcerer, bard, heroes,
Yeah, it happens, man.
because that's what the party needed.
So Donnie walks out. His hair's kind of all freaked out like it is. His hair's kind of greasy, freaked out, hanging out from underneath his cap. And he says, guys, I'm starting to think we didn't survive that car crash. Oh, no, yeah, that could be. We're always starving and
Eyes just
hallucinations.
darting around. There's things in these woods I can hear. Oh,
So you guys could kind of camp down in here if you wanted to, in this little gully that goes down into this crater, sitting here watching the lights change every minute.
Well, I have to say, after that horrifyingly terrific event, I'm kind of exhausted.
I'd say we were exhausted before that. I feel like.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, let's rest.
Yeah.
Barb, quick question.
Yeah.
This hand, I can still use it to fire my weapon with and stuff, right?
Sure.
Fully usable that way too. Okay.
Just
It's
don't
fully
throw it in
functional.
water, it could rust.
Fully functional.
Ooh. Why, yes it is. Look at that. The finger spins.
Have fun getting to a metal detector ever again.
It's an implant.
I think it's pretty obvious why I'm setting off the metal detector.
Well, it did say.
I can be able to take as many weapons as I want on me now.
Well, Rondon, it did say it's a perfect replica of your original hand. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
made
just
of.
made of steel.
Yeah.
It's not like it
Nice.
doesn't look like the Thing's hand, all square fingered and all. I mean, it looks like your hand, but it's
It,
stainless steel.
I mean, it doesn't look like.
Right, and if I just hold it clasped crossed over to my chest, obviously showing that I have a fake steel hand.
Gunther, you're freaking out. I mean, with your academics and science and your doubting Thomas or whatever the hell it is, you're like, there's no way. Let me see that. And you're looking at his hand, right? And all of a
No,
sudden you can
they're doing
see
good work with prosthetics.
you see
Eagerly.
this like uh, factory. It looks like a factory, and there's these conveyor belts going around it, going into different machines, and um, it's I mean, it's just a vision you're having in your mind, and you watch Huff go by you, and he goes into this machine, and as he goes in, you're like, he doesn't have any fucking hand, and so yeah, you can see that the whole scene that played out for him, you just envisioned it at the same time looking at this hand.
I hear they're doing good work down in Stuttgart on the prosthetics.
That's not exactly clairvoyance, but
No, I wanted to use it unrelated to that with the power description. I didn't want to realize I was doing it.
Right, exactly.
Can I
You
use
just
it
had
to
this
stare?
vision all of a sudden.
I just want to look at the tower. If I can see 6 miles away now.
So you climb back up, you're like, guys, I'll be back in a little bit. And you kind of feel your way in the dark back up this, and you get up here on this rise, and you're looking at the tower, and it's emanating this eerie bluish green glow. You're like, man, that's a
Jump
place.
in it.
That's weird. That's fucking weird.
Well, I mean, there's nothing about what we've been through the last couple of weeks that's been normal.
And as you're looking at this, and the rest of you guys do not make any comments because this is simply his vision. You see yourself amongst what the hell? Am I back at a fucking game con? Are those goblins? Oh my god, it's what the fuck is that? It's a werewolf. And you see him just kind of milling
They are
about.
closed.
Just milling about. And then the image fades.
Oh no, I think I have the head wound. Or I need the sleep.
And you guys settle in for a rest. And let's see. Uh-oh. Where in the hell is all the tables at in here? Wow. It's not there anymore. There's so much stuff I just need to put into a module so I can have it for every table.
Yep.
It begins raining, and it rains on you all night.
Yay.
Pouring.
Well, that sounds like a vigor roll.
We'll see. We'll see in 24
At least
hours
it's
who's
warm
sneezing
day.
and coughing. All right. You guys finally, you can hear the rain starts to taper off, and you hear the morning birds starting to chirp before the sun comes up. You finally get up. The sky is starting to lighten to the east. You can see it lighting up the sky behind this bone tower far off to the east in this direction.
So where did you go last night, Fish? You just kind of disappeared for 30, 40 minutes.
What?
When you went to go look up or look at the tower.
Oh, I thought it was like a real quick thing.
Well,
Oh, I
your
figured you'd
visions
be gone
lasted about a
all-
minute.
Yeah, I was meaning like to trek up the hill or whatever to.
Wait a minute,
See the tower.
who got clairvoyance?
Told me I did.
Donnie.
Donnie did.
Can you
I
make
thought
up
it
your
was-
mind?
Gunther
I
didn't.
thought it was Donnie.
No, Gunther, you got a die increase. You didn't get clairvoyance.
Alright, then why'd you tell me
Yeah.
I got clairvoyance?
I didn't. Did I?
Yes, you did. You shared it, and you said
He shared it with everybody.
I shared it with everybody. I had to
told me
share
I
it with
got
everybody for it to work. No, you don't have
told me I
clairvoyance.
got it.
Donnie's got clairvoyance.
Alright.
So you
That's
saw
what I
no
was
fucking
just-
goblins, you saw no ogres, nobody saw shit, you got rained on all night, and you're all fucking bitchy, and you're all grouchy, and you've got some MREs that taste pretty good for old MREs.
Well,
Y'all
food
are
is
having
food.
hallucinations from some sort of man in the sky. He screams if there are loud sounds.
Oh no, my purse was leaking and everything got wet.
You did see him last night. You saw him riding around you, and he kept riding around you. And one of these days, I'm going to cut you into little pieces.
I flip him off as he goes by once.
Anybody? Can anybody tell me what that's from? One of these days, I'm going to cut you
Inspector Gadget.
into little pieces.
One of these days, Gadget.
Nope. It's from Pink Floyd. It's a song called One of These Days, and that's the only words in it. He just jams on this pedal steel for about 5 minutes, and right in the middle of it, you hear this boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 like somebody beating on a door. Then you hear, one of these days, I'm going to cut you into little pieces. And then the fucking band comes in and starts, you gotta hear it, man. It's one of my favorite Floyd tunes. All right.
Oddly enough, it's one that I'm not familiar with.
What would you guys like to do? I think it was off the Metal album, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, let's go to the tower.
See, I don't believe I need line of sight for it.
No, you don't. But you need to know.
Yeah, it's like a sensing.
You need, yeah.
The trappings have an object linked to someone, something, or someplace, and an image of someone, something, or something. So if I don't sense them, it's kind of random in an area around it.
Yeah, I mean, you can have an idea that, somebody can say, man, I need to find little Timmy. I don't know where Timmy's at. Him and Lassie was out running around, and you've never met Timmy and never met Lassie, but you're looking for a little boy, and then it could be a very confusing image that comes back to you, but something will come back. You don't always have to, you have to have a name, but you can dial it in by having an object of a person, or having your, looking at something 2 miles away, like the Bone Tower here.
He's gonna be one of them murder-solving psychics. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Donnie the murder-solving psychic.
I've heard of weirder things.
I'd watch that show.
Right?
And as you guys look at the Bone Tower and think about what you're gonna, I think this is a good place to leave it tonight. We're about 15 minutes early.
Bone Tower.
But that gives us a good clean break point, and we know where you're headed. But you're gonna kind of walk off down into the grass and jungle to get there for a little bit. So who knows what'll happen? Plus you're gonna walk out into this big open barren valley, and you're in such a weird place right now.
I think we should follow the edge of the forest along
At least
And
as
then we can duck into
far
it
as
if
we
have to.
can.
until we're like
Yeah, we'll
due
have
the
some,
north of
so we're
it.
not-
Oh, because
Yeah,
the
so-
deep, dark, jungly forest is so much safer than the open plain.
I didn't say the deep, dark, jungly forest. I said the edge of the tree line.
I mean, sometimes you need a stick. Look
There's-
how good that stick came in
there's
handy so far.
There's pumas in the crevices.
Well,
and the
I can
crevasses.
use my power to keep an eye on you while you scout way ahead, and then if they eat you,
Oof.
we'll know about it. We won't go that way.
But if they sneak around and get you, we won't be there to help.
Donnie doesn't. I'm
Well,
not sure he
I
knows he's
mean
got
the
a
rest
power
of
yet.
us.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Huff.
No, I know. That's why I haven't like used it or anything.
But no,
I just
that
kinda started
perfect
to
thing.
feel like a
You know,
headache.
you guys stand up and you get up the next morning. You're all dripping wet. You hike up this little ravine back to the top of the edge of the crater, where you're elevated above the land around you, and you look off to the east and you see the bone tower, and that's when you see, what the fuck is that? A fucking goblin? What the hell? Is this the monster manual come to life? God, it's an ogre. And it lasts for about a minute. It looks like they're all eating food around this table, though, and they seem to be pretty. You see the goblin go, "Hand me another slice of that, thank you." So it's not like some squeaky little goblin. It's a little bit different than what you might have thought a goblin would be. But it looks like a goblin. It's green, got big pointy ears, big sharp teeth.
Oh, probably mutated by whatever the hell that is in the crater. So we're gonna look like here if we stay here.
Oh, we better. Well, on the other hand, maybe we can do photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
Was that Donnie that saw that, or did we all see that?
I think it was just Donnie.
Oh, okay.
So you guys are. This weird shit started.
Of the goblins and the ogres that were playing a game of us.
Humans in offices?
Well, that's great, man. Absolutely great. All right, the game's starting to move. I thought it was a good session, fellas. And
I like the part where we got heavy weapons just in case.
Yeah, I like the part where I got this steel fist just in case. I like the fact that evidently we all made our luck rolls.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
crazy.
you guys never had to
Yeah.
use a Benny. You all made your
Yeah,
luck
that's
rolls.
awesome.
Yep.
We were lucky tonight.
Yeah, I was crazy lucky.
Also, when we were walking, I'm gonna keep looking at his hand, because I'm convinced there's like a "Made in Germany" stamp on the back.
Nope.
As long as there's not a made in China stamp, I think we're
Oh,
fine.
screw that. Let's cut it off.
All right, so I want to give you guys an idea of how this game goes, just so that if something happens in the future, nobody rage quits Venom or anything else. Okay, so let's take the blue light for
No
instance.
promises.
The blue
Yeah, I
light.
was
Who had
curious
the
what would happen if I would have failed? That's Peggy.
Peggy had the blue light. Yeah, viewer make a luck roll. Successful gains immunity from all poisons. If unsuccessful, the viewer has been poisoned, taking 2 fatigue points and a wound. If the luck roll is a critical failure, the viewer dies.
Wow.
Oh. Whoa.
Yikes.
Wow.
If
What
the
was
luck
mine?
die is 4 or less, the viewer is unconscious for a full day. But if you would have hit if anybody would have hit a critical failure, some of them it didn't kill you, but I mean there's no option. You die. That was it. So your luck
No
die
coming
can
back,
be
Scarecrow?
important. Your luck die can be very important. And
Of course, you can't re-roll a crit fail.
you can't re-roll a crit fail. Nope, that's it. So let's see, gray light.
Might have an adventure card.
I was curious
So
what red.
yeah, if you failed the gray light, you'd have a -2 penalty. You wouldn't be able to use the hand at all. It would be like paralyzed, and you'd have to use your offhand. And
I
taking
think you
all
talked
the.
about
Yep,
that one.
I did.
I
Let's
remember you
see.
saying that one.
Do you still club people with it, even if you can't move it?
I mean,
It's a big metal thing on the end of your arm.
Red light. If the viewer was unsuccessful, the viewer takes 2 fatigue and 2 wounds from fire.
Ow.
The fatigue is removed
Crashed
one.
into the ocean.
Yeah, well, this was from the re-entry burns. So yeah, you'd still crash into the salt water. So with your third degree burns on your body and the salt water within them, or second degree burns.
Ow.
The fatigue is removed 1 point per week over the course of 2 weeks. The wounds
Ouch.
heal as all wounds per the Suede rules. Let's see, if you would have failed the black light. No luck roll needed to be made for the black light. Nothing happens if you failed it. You just wouldn't have.
What was the
You wouldn't have
D20
gained
for?
anything. The D20, you got to increase a die type, and I wanted to know if it was going to be. You rolled a D10 first, and that was your attributes dice 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 across there, and then I counted all your skills up, and you had 18 or 19, and I just thought, well, if he rolls a 19 or 20, I'll have him re-roll it. So you rolled what, a 14, I think. I counted down 14. I said, okay, which would you rather have, a smarts die increase or?
That makes a lot more sense because
Yeah.
since they're related, it seemed weird.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it was, but it could have turned out differently, you see. So
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
yeah. So I was just because it said at random, said you increase, well, actually the original rule set is completely different. It would have increased a random skill at blah blah blah. Well, here we do things by die type, so I had to change some things up.
I mean, if you were something like you couldn't raise higher normally,
Right.
that could be really nice.
Right. Well, it could have been your strength roll. Your strength could have been raised by a die type or whatever, and you'd have been, hey, I'll take that. But anyway, folks, we're gonna call it there for the night. Go find somebody to raid real quick. So while we're doing that, you can find reruns of our shows on YouTube, and if you're watching this later, you're probably watching it on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But you can find us at that or / Marbanya. Because it's new, and I really need to change that.
Hey, Marv, you
yeah,
need to change that.
I do need to change that, don't I?
He can't though because the Earth is so very round.
What do you mean the Earth is round? Bullshit.
Well, if they think they have something to say about it, they should subscribe and tell you otherwise.
They should. They should tell me that the Earth is flat or round or whatever, because I'll argue with you either
Everyone
way.
knows it's a icosahedral.
Yeah, yeah, a dicosahedral. It really is, and there are 12 different points on the planet that are power points that.
I meant the one that's a D20. I don't know.
See, I'm
Isn't that a dodecahedron?
Dodecahedron is a 12 side. Well, I think dodecahedron is just
12 points of power.
Yeah.
Is it 12? I was thinking a D20.
Well, a dodecahedron, I don't know. But there you go. You can find us on YouTube.
Triangle is the roll of 1, though. It's the nat 1.
Let's see. Let's find. It's always going to be Svenster. We've always got to raid Sven. So here we go. We're raiding Sven with some love, and I don't know, four viewers ready to go. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Catch us every Thursday right here for Savage Thursdays, and we're gonna back on out. Tell them bye, everybody, and have a fantastic weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
ICO is pronounced eco or ISO?
Ico?
Echo ECO.
Yeah, ICO. It's isosahedron.
I think it's like